I know that many of you on this channel are not high spenders. In fact, you all are quite frugal, you all know how to save money, you all know how to invest your money, but you realize that my main credit card strategy is spending on a miles rewards card instead of a cashback card. And you may be thinking to yourself, isn't miles for all the high spenders who can afford really large spending on their credit card? And airline miles are considered so much more difficult to redeem because you have to consider the availability, the expiry, and the points and rewards are so hard to earn. Before you can even redeem them, they will have expired because you haven't spent enough. And to make the comparison even worse, you realize that cashback is so easy to understand, right? You can really value how much is $1 cashback, but how do you actually value a mile? I think that is really subjective and there is no clear answer to that. Miles is really about experience, and I talk in my channel that you should always spend on experiences because material goods would fade away, but experiences may last you a lifetime. To quote from another famous blogger, the Mile Lion, Aaron Wong's favorite quote is, "Cash is king, but miles make you feel like one." So in today's episode, let me just share some very realistic examples of how you can build up your airline miles or rewards balances such that you may be able to afford that business class ticket that you have always been yearning for. Okay, the main idea behind this strategy is to use OPM. Okay, for those who don't know what OPM means, it means other people's money. Sound very unethical, or why use other people's money and not your own money? Disclaimer first, all this has nothing to do with illegal or unethical activities. I'm trying to share the idea and the method, but it may work for some people, it may not work for some people, depend on your circumstances and personal situations. So let's be clear on that. The first method is to use your personal credit card to pay for company expenses. Now, I'm sure if you are an employee of a company, most likely you have personal claims, right? For example, you need to buy something for the company, or you have business travel coming up, but you need to spend on your personal credit card first if you're not issued a corporate credit card. Then you realize that you can spend it on your personal credit card first and claim back from the company because all these are considered business expenses. And I think business travel is really the best way to earn miles because you know how expensive are flight tickets and accommodation in hotels, right? All these are in hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for each trip. And for each business trip, you need to stay a few days and maybe you need to incur like up to $1,000, $2,000. And you know, all these dollars, you can actually spend it on the company's account because how it works is that you are using your personal credit card to pay for the business expenses while your company will reimburse you on a later date, right? So you have to tank the expenses first on your own credit card, then the company will reimburse you. But you realize that you are earning the rewards for yourself and the company is just paying you back in the cash. Of course, I know that some companies will issue you with a corporate credit card, so you have to use this corporate card to book your flight tickets, to book your hotel accommodations, or even book a rental car. Because most likely at a corporate level, they may have secured some discounts for employees using the corporate card to spend with the partner merchants. But some companies are not that strict, right? Because for example, your personal meals when you're doing business travel, and most likely you will be eating at a restaurant and you need to be issued the receipt, you can pay with your personal credit card and you can start to accumulate all these points and miles on your company's dime. This is not illegal, by the way, just that you have to read up your own company's HR policy whether they can allow you to spend on business expenses using your personal credit card, because all this depends on the terms and conditions and the rules of the company HR policy. I know that some of you have missed the chance to get your free kopi from Moomoo last month, and so did I, because this time round inflation has caused my coffee to increase price by 10 cents, and inflation is a necessary devil, right? So how to fight inflation, you may ask, and that is by getting free money. How to get free money then? It's very simple. Just sign up using my referral link for your Moomoo account, then deposit at least $2,700 to get a chance to spin the stock wheel, and you can get up to one free Amazon stock. Then next, you know what to do? You may take out a sum of $100 out of your cash deposit and start a Moomoo Cash Plus. Now, once you have invested at least $100 in Moomoo Cash Plus, you'll get a daily cashback coupon of $2 for 30 days. And you know, $2 times 30 days, that is $60 worth of free money. And I can give you 4 very specific reasons why you should use Moomoo Cash Plus. Firstly, there's no monthly negative return to date. Secondly, with the rising interest rate environment, there is potential earnings from this. Next, the process to subscribe and the process to redeem it is really fast and quick. And lastly, there's potential income daily, even on the weekends. So this is how I will use Moomoo Singapore and Moomoo Cash Plus to fight inflation. But what if your role don't allow you to go for business travel? Then there's another opportunity, which is company team building. You know that at corporate level, when they are doing team building activities, it's really at a large scale, right? Because there are so many people involved, and most likely it will involve a huge bill. Even a simple team lunch or team dinner, I think will incur like a few hundreds of dollars, because most likely they will allocate a good budget for it to really reward the employees for their hard work, right? So that's when you really need to be the first person to take initiative and pay for everyone's bill on your own credit card, then claim from the boss or the company. Of course, this is also subjected to your HR policy, because for some companies, such team building events may need to go through like proper payment processing and corporate cards, right? So it will not be charged on your personal credit card. But if you happen to be the one who is in charge of this kind of smaller scale payments, or example, you need to buy your stationery or you need to buy something for the pantry on your own personal credit card, then claim back from the company, then I think it's quite a good avenue to do that, right? But like I said, all these kind of business expenses have to depend on your company policy. Don't everything spend on your credit card, then expect to claim from the company. Later you kena fired by the HR, I don't know, don't take me responsible. Okay, if you think the first strategy is not for you, then we move on to the second one, because the second one is not so corporate. The second method is that you can help your friends to buy expensive stuff overseas, and then they have to reimburse you back. Now, I think this kind of purchase is quite common before the COVID days, right? Because people always have to travel to Europe to get their designer bag, their luxurious items from Europe. And all these purchases like women handbags can cost up to a few $1,000s, right? Like a Chanel bag is like 7,000 USD. And your friends will be very willing to pay you back because it is so much cheaper to buy in Europe compared to if you buy it in Singapore. So they already enjoy that kind of cash savings already. They won't really mind if you really use your own credit card and earn the points or rewards or cashback. So in the end, you're using your friends' money to earn that rewards and at the same time enjoy your trip. And I think that is what Mr. Lu's business model is, right? Premium more, they really go to like Europe, keep buying their handbags and then sell back to the Singapore customers. And at the same time, I do believe they earn a lot on cashback, rewards and miles thing. So Mr. Lu, if you don't know this strategy yet, then you are missing out on quite a lot of stuff. Okay, then you may think handbag is too out of my reach, right? Because I don't have a few $1,000s to spare. What is an alternative? Then you may look at Apple products, because Apple products actually have very good resale value. If you look at Asia Pacific, I think one of the cheapest places to buy Apple products is actually Hong Kong. I believe once the borders have opened up, you can help your friends to buy Apple products in Hong Kong because they are so much cheaper than Singapore. I think Hong Kong does not even have GST. So you save a little bit, maybe like a few tens of dollars, not so much as Chanel bag. But the downside of this strategy is that once you bring all these things back to Singapore, you realize that you have to be very careful on GST, because I think next year onwards, whatever you bring it back to Singapore, all will be charged GST. And since you are bringing really expensive items, most likely you will be above the tax threshold already. So make sure your friend actually cover the GST for you. And don't be a dumbo to not charge your friend the GST. Otherwise, your whole effort is not worth it, right? Yeah, so this is the second example of using other people's money, because your friend have to pay you first, then they can secure a good deal. Be it they go to Europe and buy a very luxurious handbag, or they go to Hong Kong and buy an Apple product. All this you earn the rewards and the cashback is your own one. But then your friend is paying you the money back, right? So there's really no loss to that. Okay, my third strategy, I think this is really common. That is to be the paymaster of any friends gathering or any kind of social gathering. You'll be the first person. You go and volunteer to give up your credit card for payment. You all remember these awkward situations, right? When the waiter comes and pass the bill, but don't know who to pass to, okay? Then your group of friends look at each other. Who pay? Who pay? Also awkward. But you are the one, okay? You are the one who initiate the payment. I will pay with my credit card. Then your friends will all be very happy because at least someone is willing to pay the tab. But actually, you should be the one that is really happy because you're earning miles, rewards, cashback on behalf of all the friends spending, all their spending is now accumulated to your own credit card and you earn the rewards yourself. So I think this strategy is quite simple. Just be the paymaster and your friends will be very happy. You will be very happy. But the big downside is how to ask your friends back for the money. Because some people are really 超宽, right? 超宽 means like very bad habit or really play dirty. Even if you send them reminder to make payment because they owe you for the money, right? They will still take their time or act blur. Okay, act blur, live longer. Don't pay you back until after like a few months. And by then, they hope that you have forgotten the bill. So you need to be very careful when you are the paymaster. When you go for this kind of gathering, make sure that those people you hang out with are the solid people, okay? Those that pay you back immediately. when you have paid the bill, those are the best, okay? Those are the friends that you should keep. And those people that you need to keep reminding them for payment, I think you should stay away from them, just hang out with them less. So you have learned of my 3 strategies to help you accelerate your miles rewards accumulation journey, but you may have the question, which are the miles cards to use? Personally, I do recommend these 3 credit cards, the Citi Rewards, the DBS Women's World Mastercard, and the HSBC Revolution Visa, because all these cards will earn 4 miles per dollar spent. And if you look at $1,000 per month spending, you're looking at 4,000 miles per month. And very fast, within a year, you realize that you can accumulate miles so fast that you can redeem a business class ticket to Japan already. Now, not only the miles credit card, because Singapore Airlines also has this mobile app called the Kris Plus app. Now, Kris Plus app, how it works is that you can actually link your credit card to Google Pay or Apple Pay, then make it as a form of payment via Kris Plus. Okay, so Kris Plus is like you just scan QR code. Make sure the Kris Plus merchant has the QR code, like Fair Price Finance. They are a Kris Plus partner. So you scan the payment through the Kris Plus app, and you will link to your Google Pay or Apple Pay wallet. Then you earn additional miles on top of your normal credit card spending at these Kris Plus partnered merchants. And I do have a referral link with Kris Plus where you can sign up and get $5 worth of miles for free. Kris Plus app is also very useful if you want to transfer very small amount of miles from your bank rewards portal, because sometimes you realize that you cannot hit the minimum 10,000 reward points or 10,000 miles redemption, right? So what you can do before the expiry is to transfer to Kris Plus. Of course, there will be a 15% haircut. You have to calculate the difference. But if you want to learn on all these travel on business class for free and all the travel hacks with miles credit card, right, then I can refer you to my older video, because I go through in detail what are miles credit card really all about and the redemption and all that stuff, even Kris Plus.